your message is to never give up. You know, that women, we are the ultimate multitaskers. We're capable of anything, and to never let anyone make you feel less than that. And I literally like saw that and I printed it out, you know, and I stuck it on my board, and it really spoke to me. So thank you.
My pleasure. You know, but I also, one of my best attributes that I don't know how to teach people is I'm very naive. Like, I don't think something's not going to work out. But if it doesn't, it's just a message to do something else or do it differently. So I just keep going. And I'm like, why not?
Maybe they're right. They're experts for a reason. But every time I thought about that, I would get this gut feeling. And I think in life, like I think it's so easy to talk ourselves out of our own truth because we hear, you know, other people's opinions that even though they don't sit right with us, like, oh, well, maybe. And then we hear, you know, all the noise. We hear the lack of success around us. In my case, lack of traction in my own business. All those things were so loud. And I think I did a lot of things wrong. And I talk about those in the book. But one of the things I did right was when I had a real strong gut feeling, I made the decision to trust it.
There is no done. I have not found the place of I can just kick back. And I'm desperately searching for it. Don't get me wrong. I love this idea of being complete. I love checking the final marker. However, again, I'm settling into that we're evolving creatures. So if we do search for anything outside of ourselves, it really needs to come from within.
Where there's darkness within you, where there's shadow, never have shame when you shine the light on it, because where there's light, when you shine the light, there's light, right? And just to remember that.
Healing for me, I define it as radical self-awareness and self-advocacy, and making the choice every day to look at myself in the mirror and say, I got you. Even when it's really, really, really hard.
Everything is still happening for me if I make it for me, right?
That we are actually much more powerful than we've been led to believe. We are amazing, magnificent, powerful beings. And I had never realized that in my life before. This was the first time I was realizing it. And my loved ones wanted me to know that now that I knew this truth, if I chose to go back, my body would heal very quickly. And that's when I chose to come back. And I started to come out of the coma. And my dad had said to me, go back and live your life fearlessly. And I started to come out of the coma, and everybody was shocked. The doctors were shocked. I started to tell them things that I had heard and seen them do, and they knew something had happened, but they couldn't explain it. But in 3.5 weeks, they could find no trace of cancer in my body. In 5 weeks, they let me go home and live my life cancer-free.
You know your body better than anybody else. And so, but you've got to get it kind of to its normal to be able to tell what's going on and then really pay attention.
You know, I had people oftentimes walk in with the most expensive bags, the most expensive manicures, the most expensive this, but you just, it's allocation. It's not a priority. So if you are in that place where you say, I'm ready ready to self-actualize in my health. I'm ready to take it up. Then really be all in and be honest about the whole picture. Do the best that you can with what you have.
Yes, and 100%. And I echo that, you guys. It's really just about reprioritizing, you know, and really looking at what you have in front of you and knowing that that investment is for your health, which is forever. You know, I mean, this body is what you have. And so you want to put the best things into it. And it's understandable that sometimes, you know, it might not be accessible. Sometimes maybe the price point really is too high, but you just make adjustments. You know, when you're using great products, it already has a very high vibration and a high frequency. But then when you add that little extra in, you're putting that back into your body, or you're putting that back into your family's bodies, right?
It's like blessing your food, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a little prayer of like a little blessing just to uplift the food and your experience.
Yeah, and when you're eating in alignment with your energy centers, you know, I talk in a really basic way about eating the rainbow. When we eat the rainbow, not just because of all the phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals, but also because it aligns with our energy center. I mean, there's more than 7 chakras, I'm sure you know, there's much more than that, but in a simple, most basic way, we kind of focus on those 7 chakras and the colors that align with those chakras. And when we reach for foods and fill our plates with all those colors, we're also eating for our energetic body as well.
I love that. Because I obviously I love to make sure that I'm filling my plate in a colorful way, but I never even thought about the connection with the chakras and like the different color in the chakras, like the red and the orange and the yellow and the green and all of that.
So what I'll say is, like, when you don't sleep, when you're not getting proper nutrition, when you don't have tools like meditation or, hiking in nature to kind of de-stress from the day's accumulation of mental gunk, it's almost impossible to stay positive and send love to people, be grateful.
So that's what also encourages me, or maybe anyone, to like a good reason to take care of yourself nutritionally is because otherwise you're going to blame the pizza, you're going to blame the beer, you're going to blame and like you don't have a clear indication as to what signals your body's trying to tell you, because it's in murky water. You're filling yourself with all kinds of things that make you feel a certain way, and so you can't tell really what's going on. And so I think there's like multiple good reasons why taking care of yourself through food and through intention is really, really powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like eliminating the things that are most obviously not what it is, because if you are in your physical body, if you have movement every single day, you're putting the right nutrients in, if you're treating and you're practicing, mindfulness or meditation, and you have some sort of a practice, when these things happen, you can almost just immediately eliminate that it's not this, or this. Because I've got these things already checked off. And even that in and of itself gives you a different level of awareness, because then you can say, oh, okay, so I know it's not this. What's going on right now? Like, what's going on with me on a deeper level? Like, what triggers that I have that I'm not fully paying attention to? Or like, what's going on in the collective?
We were sitting one day and he said, how much responsibility are you willing to take for your life and where it's at right now? And I was like, for which part? For being molested, for growing up poor, for having cancer? Like, I was doing the whole victim, feeling sorry for myself. And he goes, no, I didn't say how much blame are you willing to take. I asked you how much responsibility you would take, which means the ability to respond. And I was like, light switch moment. I was just like, whoa. He said, if you take 50% responsibility, you have 50% opportunity to change, but someone else still has the other 50% that's going to control the outcome. And I'm like, I don't want anybody else having control over the 50% of my life. And so for some reason, that really resonated with me. And to this day, responsibility is the most important word. Like, it's one of my favorite words, is responsibility, the ability to respond.
I have 3 children, 23, 25, 29 years old. So I was, an active CEO raising my children. They were very involved in everything I did. And I used to tell them that I work for passion. I work for passion, and I hire for passion and train for skill. I said, this is something that I do for me, but you are always the most important person in my life. I said, tell me wherever you want me to be, I will always be there. And so I started a no regret policy. I never wanted to look back in life and say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And so I would think forward. If my kids said they have a school play and they want me to be at it, then I wouldn't go to the meeting. And I can guarantee you in life, and I have 30 plus years of experience in the big boys club, and then as a serial entrepreneur, there is no one in my entire work journey, that will ever remember the trip that I didn't take, the meeting that I missed, or the day that I left early. Wow. But I will tell you that my children, my family, the things that have been important to me, remember all the moments that I was there. And so for them, it's not about the amount of time. It's about, the quality of that time. And so for anyone thinking about that, you don't have to sneak out there. We think there's this rule book. There is no rule book for, as long as you get your work done and you look after each other and, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be okay. you know, so I think we need to give ourselves permission to live our life, because when you're happy and feeling fulfilled, you will stay inside of the company. You will find ways to zig and zag. You'll find the solution. You'll find the yes. But if you think about the negative, you're never going to get to that next level, because you're always going to let that voice be screaming in your head saying, don't do it. You're going to fail. You know,